morning. Good morning. I'm going to just say it. Man, the last couple days, I have been batting around what I'm going to refer to as affair energy. And I'm going to just kind of discuss this morning. We're going to kind of bounce all over the place. Hey, morning. Morning, Sean. Morning, Addison. Morning, Andre. Morning, Chester. So this morning I'm going to just kind of bounce all over with what I'm talking about here. And this affair, so to this morning's conscious coffee, and I'm out of coffee. I should have made a cup of coffee before I came out here. I should have, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to end up talking all the way, and then my coffee always gets cold because I'm blah, 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 blah. So, but this morning's topics are affair energy, being scared of your success, and knowing when they're not right for you. They all go together, amazingly enough. They all go together. So a lot of this I was going to come out and I'm going to be blending it between relationship and business, okay? Because that's really ultimately what I do as a coach, is I work a lot with people in relationship, and that translates over to their businesses, especially, those who are entrepreneurs. And we get this, all of these things arise up in each one of those subjects of our life because they mimic each other. That's definitely there. So, affair energy, we're just going to start there and we'll just see where it kind of goes, okay? Organically, see how this flows. But the affair aspect of this is many, many moons ago, there was a young girl, me, who was in her 20s and lost. And it lost in her marriage, lost in her heart, lost in her soul, and she had an affair. She had an affair on her husband. She had been married about 5 years, 5-6 years, and she fell off the wagon with a friend, and they enjoyed some pleasures that were sinful. And they had an affair. He was married, I was married. And it was very short-lived. So, that affair energy, I can tell you, I'm very familiar with on that aspect. And that's a piece of my life that I learned so much from because I was hiding, because I was lost, because I had put myself into a situation early on from being what I would refer to back then as broken. It is more of a not seeing self, not accepting self, not knowing how to really step into flow, wanting to control something that I could not control. I had my heart broken and moved into a relationship that I probably shouldn't have moved into it extremely quickly, and found myself married with children, and then in this broken state of who I was, not complete, looking externally for things and trying to fix and everything, I fell into this affair. Kind of jumped into the affair. And I remember feeling extremely lost in those moments. I remember feeling hungry and sad and excited. And I told myself I was turned on, but I wasn't turned on. But I told myself that I was turned on. I told myself that I loved this other man. I told myself that, that there was possibility, that there was hope here. I really convinced myself that there was something there that wasn't there. Well, as you move forward, we tend to do this, and I see this rise up in so many areas. When people are hiding from themselves, when people are not liking where they're at, what's going on, what's happening in their world, and they try to control it, because that's what we do, right? We believe that we should be able to control a circumstance, whether that is in our our intimate relationship, if it is with our children, if it is with our health, if it is with our business, our finances, we try to get in there and we can try to control something when we are not happy with it. And we forget to go underneath that unhappiness and say, why? Why am I not happy? That's a scary ass question, isn't it? Because if you ask yourself, why am I not happy? It's like you just put some virus in your system and you can almost feel it just going through you. Why are you not happy? Why are you not happy? Like, why can you not be happy with where you're at? What's going on? Why do you have to concoct, focus on, try to control a situation to the point of exhaustion, fatigue, anxiety, fear? Why do you control at that level? Because all of those things cause lack of happiness. It all causes lack of happiness. So we can see it very clearly in an intimate relationship. You can see, oh, all this stuff that's going on. Affair energy can be self-sabotage energy as well, right? Now you can have it where things just aren't very right. In my case, early on, I knew I was in a relationship that I really shouldn't have been. I kept that relationship. I had children. I worked my ass off to make sure that that relationship could maintain. Even after having an affair, I stayed way too long in a relationship that was not serving me, was not serving my partner. And at the end of the day, I realized it wasn't serving my children either and had to break away from that. But it took many a moon to break free of that and to wake up to it. Well, we do that in any area of our life. And we go out and we have something that might be working, and then we hit a wall, and then we're like, I don't know, this is kind of scary. This feels uncomfortable. This feels, like, I don't know. Oh, let's go over here. This feels easier. This is telling me what I want to hear. This feels like it's not quite going to push me as much. This is not out of my comfort zone over here. And so what do? We go from what we're doing, and if we just put our head down and we just do it and we open up to the flow of it and we really make this happen by opening up to it, we flip over here to comfort. Anytime we flip to comfort from discomfort, from this fear land, because out of that comfort zone is where the miracles happen, right? We know that, but it's scary as fuck to actually embrace it. So what do? We go, oh, I'm going to go have an affair with comfort. I'm going to go have an affair with comfort over here. And even though this is scary, I'm going to tell myself that it's exciting. I'm going to tell myself that I'm turned on to it. I'm going to tell myself that this is really good for me. I'm going to tell myself this, just like I did with that guy, right? Like, I'm going to tell myself this. Now, here's the thing. You might be wanting this because what you've got, it really isn't in soul alignment. It's just not you. And maybe you're trying to make something happen for all the wrong reasons. Just like I did in my marriage. I tried to make it work for good reasons, but at the end of the day, they weren't good enough. It wasn't good enough to sacrifice self. It wasn't good enough to sacrifice my soul. It wasn't good enough to really inflict that kind of pain, that kind of unhappiness on self, which would translate over to my children. And I had to get right with, hey, I'm just not in alignment to this right here. That didn't mean that I needed to go have another affair. It didn't mean that I needed to go and change things up. It meant that I needed to get right with who I was and with what I wanted. And that's the same story, whether that is your intimate relationship, whether it is work that you're doing, a business that you're building. Maybe it's something that you're doing for your health. Maybe it's aspects of your life and how they're blending together, and nothing seems to feel really good to you, and you feel like you're just going through the motions. You're just trying to make it happen for this reason and this reason and this reason, and you're like, yes, this is challenging. Yes, I am pushing my comfort zones, my boundaries out a little bit. Yes, I am doing this. But if you really get real with yourself, you'll find out, like, yeah, no, you're not. You're just kind of meh to it. You're meh to this. Well, when you're meh to something, that's not where your soul wants you to go, because meh energy is dead energy, okay? Is this energy. So you've got to try to stir something up, which is not going to be comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable to stir up that desire and to go digging into the caverns of your soul and say, hey, why am I not happy? Why am I not feeling good about this? Why am I not turned on? What the fuck am I, moving into section 2 here, scared of? What am I scared of? Because that's exactly what we're doing. We're so scared of our success. We're so scared of being loved. We're so scared of expanding ourselves, of being who we want to be truly. And we feel it right here, right? We feel it in our heart. We feel it in our gut. We feel it at our core level. And we know who we're supposed to be because we desire this stuff. And these desires, they grab a hold of our hearts and they just go, you want this so bad that it causes this emotion. Now, if you're not having some sort of emotion, like heart ripping, gut wrenching, fuck, I really need that, it's like my breath, I want that kind of desire towards something, then you need to check yourself, check your pulse, because there's got to be something that really grabs you, something that really calls to you. And that's the stuff that your soul's like, hey, go that way. But you know what? That same stuff is going to freak you out. It's going to make you go, I have to stop having an affair with comfort now. I have to stop circling around. I have to stop taking the detour. I have to stop making the excuses and giving the killer reasons of whatever that might be, which are typically what? I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the support, I don't have the education, I don't know where to start, I don't understand, I have children, I have little children, I have teenagers, I have elderly parents that I'm taking care of, I have health issues. Those are all wonderful, wonderful excuses. But that's all they are, is an excuse, because at the end of the day, people who want that want this that they're feeling, they don't make room for those excuses. They go, and I'm doing it anyway. And yeah, this is uncomfortable, but I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, this is scary, but I'm doing it anyway. Yes, this does push me out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it anyway. Because the me that I want to be, the life that I want to have, the business that I want to build, the love that I want to experience, that's not here for a reason, because it does not match who I am, where I'm at, what I'm doing right now. But it does match that version over there of me. It does. And that version is drastically different because of minor tweaks. Drastically different because of minor tweaks. And that version got comfortable with making those minor tweaks, habits, skills, understandings, ways of being, energetic set points. But you've got to get out of that. And you've got to recognize that when you're really, really pushing against something, resisting it, the chances are you're fearing your own success. And if you're like, oh, well, but I've been here for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I don't want this to just be a waste of time. I've invested all this time. I've built this life. Well, is what you have going on really giving you what you truly want? When you get to be at the end of your days, are you going to look back and go, man, I really knocked it out of the ballpark. I really killed it. I really made myself proud. And I left this legacy to the ones that I care about. And I imprinted this beautiful way of being. I showed exactly the results, the love, the energy, the connection, the life. I taught what living, what thriving was really like. Can you actually say that? Are you going to feel really good? Are you going to go, well, I wish I could have done that. I know people did that. I saw lots of people doing it. But I just never had the time. I never had the money. I never had the support. I was raising kids and I was doing this and I was doing that. And I just never really got the opportunity to do that. Yeah. So, And then there is this little thing of maybe they're just not your tribe. Maybe they're just not for you. Again, and I am speaking to a few people out there because I see this, and I have two things going on right now. And I just recently went through my Facebook and deleted a whole ton of people, for multiple reasons. And I was just thinking I need to go back through, and I need to go back and do a little bit of housekeeping as well. And even on my business page, I was like, I just need to go in here and I just need to clean some stuff up, because it's house cleaning. It's like sometimes you sit there, and on the front side of creating social media, no matter what we're creating social media for, business or personal, it just feels good to have friends, doesn't it? It just feels good. It's like, I've got so many friends, and da-da-da-da. And then you post something, and 5 hours goes by, and nobody said squat about it. Nobody's clicked like on it. Nobody's made a comment. Nobody's messaged you. And you're going, I posted a really good thing. Like, I posted a really great picture. I posted my heart and soul out there. And, well, guess what? I'm going to use social media because we all do this, right? We all do this. We post something, and then we check for the status of that thing. And we're like, how many likes do I have? How much my views on this? How many people saw it? Blah, 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 right? What's the comments? All that kind of stuff. And it just turns us on. It excites us. Our little kid inside of us like, ooh, people like me. Pat me on the back. Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm good. Tell me this. Tell me that. We want that. We want that positive affirmation. And then we don't get it. And then we get irritated, right? We get irritated with it. And then we feel sad. And then we're putting our self-esteem, our confidence, our feel-good in the care of a bunch of people on social media. They're not your tribe. If they're not watching, if they're not paying attention, if they're not communicating, if they're not contributing, if they're not, making comments, messaging in different ways, they're not paying attention to your shit, then they're probably not your tribe. Now I'm going to bring this up with personal relationships, and here's this is a stickler. Everybody can go, yeah, okay, so we can clean out our Facebook because there's a bunch of people on there I don't know, I've never met, I probably never will meet. They're, because I've never had a personal interaction with this person, I have no emotional connection to them, I can delete them. That's not a big deal. I can delete them. They're not my tribe. No problem. Bye-bye 1,000 people, right? Like that, we can do that. And it really is this kind of fucked up world, excuse my French there, of that, oh, I know that was going on, but because you didn't do this, you're gone. Tend to be a little bit harsher on our boundaries in social media land than in our actual physical world. So here's the thing though. Tribe is tribe. Whether that is social media, and we're building a business, we're building a following, if we got people that are paying attention and communicating, then it's like, yeah, there's that tribe. And guess what? If you are building a business, it's not about your numbers, it's about how much people are actually interacting, the feedback, the views, the actual interaction. Okay, so you can get a hell of a lot further with a smaller group of people that are aligned to you, that are soul aligned, than this big group of people that are doing nothing, not even paying attention. So you're putting out all this content, but nobody hears you. So it's like, shrink that shit down and just get down to the actual real deal there. Bring that into your personal world, because personal world is where a lot of our energetics comes from. And when I say energetics, I mean the vibration that we're putting out, which comes back to the feeling that we're having, the connections that we're having. And how many, I've been through this years ago, it's been like 10, 11, 12 years ago, moved to a new state, moved from Seattle, Washington to Dallas, Texas. There can't be two places pretty much more drastically different than those two places, I can tell you that. Everywhere from the weather to the way the people think, believe, everything. Like, it is definitely a very big difference in energy. in vibration around that. Both amazing places, love them both, call them both home. So I came from Seattle, moved here to Dallas area, and I decided that I was going to hit the ground running and change my world, because I was not happy with where the previous 10 years had gotten me and how I had let things really get to me, and where I was just at emotionally, physically, business-wise, everything. I was just felt disgusted by myself. And so about 2 weeks prior to landing in Dallas, I got on Meetup. I joined Meetup, and I was this scared butterfly person, like butterfly in the corner, just up against the wall, didn't want to talk to people, was scared to death to communicate, not good at making eye contact. I had a decent handshake, because I was always focused on handshakes. I'll give myself that little woo-woo. Had all this knowledge, all this understanding, but was scared to put myself out there. And I went, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, I've got to grow a pair, and I've got to just put myself out there. And so I decided that that's what I was going to do. And I got on Meetup while I was still living in Seattle and was packing my house up. And I joined like 10 different Meetup groups for the area that I knew that I would be moving into. I joined some moms groups, and I joined some women's networking groups, and I joined some holistic networking groups, and I figured out the group that was right there in my neighborhood, and I joined it, and I did all this different stuff. And I landed in the Dallas area, and back then I was a brunette, and I landed in the Dallas area, and I dyed my hair blonde. I was like, I'm going back to blonde because I feel best as a blonde. I am done being a brunette. So I dyed my hair blonde, and I started exercising because I had just kind of let myself go. I was like, I was just like in F it mode, and I was just, I'm just not going to care. And I had spent like 3 years just going F it to everything. And I just got really committed to self. And I reached out and I joined all these groups, right? Well, next thing I knew, I had like 40 female friends. And I was ecstatic because I had never really connected to the feminine like that. And I had 40 female friends, and I was going to different group events, and we were having martini moms nights in and pajama parties, and our kids were getting together and socializing, and there was all this stuff, and I was going to networking meetings with, a holistic women's group, and I had made a couple friends, and I had all this stuff going on, and it felt so good. It felt so good. In one way. It felt really good because I had a lot of attention. As long as I was giving the attention, as long as I was doing what was requested of me, as long as I was getting into the program as to what those 40, 50 women were wanting of me, I was doing great. And from the outside, I had it all figured out. Like, everybody would be like, man, you are a social butterfly. And I was putting the face on, and I was laughing, and I was partying, and I was doing all this kind of stuff. And I don't mean like drinking, partying. I mean like partying, connecting to my fellow ladies and stuff, and family and everything. Except I was empty. I was really, really empty. And every time I went out there into the world that I had then created, I found that I had to put this mask on, and that I felt very shallow in everything that I was doing. And I was tossing things out there, and I was trying it, and nothing would stick, and I really didn't have a whole lot of passion for different stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I should do this, and maybe I should do that. And I was playing with my coaching practice, and I was, learning different stuff and picking up skills and everything, but nothing was really sticking. Nothing was really sticking because I didn't have a passion towards it. And then I found a little bit of a passion. I had a man come into my life that kind of opened my eyes to some different stuff. And then I had another man come into my life that opened my eyes to some different stuff and activated desire in my life in such a positive way. And all of a sudden, I started to go, wow, I really want this in my life. And I went out there and I created it. And within 3 months, I had it. And there was this confidence, and there was this security in myself. And I actually got legitimately turned on and happy to my life. And do you know what happened to those 40 friends? they all scolded me. They all scolded me for becoming me. They made up stories and lies and viciousness, and they pushed me out. They shunned me. They cast me. I mean, like, if this had been 2,000 years ago, I probably would have been tied to a stake and stoned. It was that kind of treatment. I felt that energetically, and I wept. Oh my God, did I ever cry. I stood at a friend's house, and I bawled my eyes out one day for a couple hours, and she was one of the last remaining friends that I had out of that group of 40, and I stood there, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried because it hurt so damn bad. And today I look back and I go, thank God that happened. Because in that moment, what they did, those beautiful souls that they are, because I still love them all, what they did was they showed me that they weren't my tribe. They showed me that they weren't for me. They showed me that in order for them to be for me, I had to be somebody that I wasn't. I had to pretend. I had to mask, because they didn't like me. They liked their version of me. That's what they liked. And as long as I stayed in alignment to that version that they wanted of me, which was surface and empty, it was all good. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I learned how to socialize. I learned how to connect. I learned how to laugh at myself. I learned how to get out of the corner and enjoy life. I learned some things that I loved. I got to experience different things that I was like, hey, that's really cool. That's really fun. So I got to experience new aspects of myself thanks to that year and a half or whatever it was, 2 years of that development. And then I had to let it all go because I grew past it. And that's what happens, is no matter what, whether it is friendships, our social media lands, building our business, and even in our intimate relationship. And this is a tough one, and I know that it's really, really tough. But I've had some significant heartbreaks in this department where I thought, man, everything is aligned perfect. Everything is so beautiful. It's like, you cannot make, Hollywood would kill for this story. Like, this is just fucking amazing, beautiful stuff. And then I've had my heart ripped out within a half a second and stomped on right there in front of me, and then just gone. And it hurts. And you know what? There's moments that it hurts still today. Still today. And if I'm really, really truthful, even when I look back at having those 40 beautiful women in my life and doing some of the things that we did, there's moments that I will miss, that I will feel a pain around not having that scenario in my life. And there's even when I'm in self-sabotage, when I get scared of being who I am, there's these moments that rise up and go, you could just cave to that. You could just go back to that. Things were so much simpler, so much easier there. Just put on the makeup, put on the mask, smile, look pretty, and fit in, and feel popular, feel good, feel like you're loved, feel like you got a tribe, as long as you're doing exactly what that tribe wants of you, as long as you're looking, talking, showing up, messaging, connecting, participating, opening up, letting them run over you, and not going too much into you or too much into the depth that you want to go. If you don't speak your truth, then you can have that. But I'm reminded always of how empty that life really truly is, and that just because you see a bunch of activity, a bunch of numbers around you, doesn't mean that you have anything. It doesn't. Because the best relationships are the ones that love you unconditionally, that are there through thick and thin, that you can have blowouts with, that you can cry, that you can say, this is where I'm at and this is not where I'm at. It's those spaces that you've got to just like really tap into and appreciate. And you know what you're going to find? You're going to find, and if you're anything like me, and I'm going to guess that if you are following me, because maybe I scared some people off today. I always like go, yay, I scared some people off. I used to get so upset when people, I would see these, and every now and then I go through these waves where like 20, 30 people jump off my newsletter, and all of a sudden my friend list goes down 100 people, and you know, and I see my business page go, it's up here, and then it goes boom, down here, and I'm like, what did I do? Well, I said something that's made somebody mad, right? And I made a whole bunch mad, and then you know what I realized is that they're not my tribe. They're not my effing tribe, and that's okay. That's okay, and it's just goodbye to them, good riddance, because you're not doing anything but filling up space, and I'd rather have a few chosen. And here's the thing. If you are a leader, if you're wanting to really call in that life that you're wanting, and you're serious about it, you're really, really, truly serious about it, and you're wanting, and I'm speaking especially to the entrepreneurs right now out there who's building businesses, you rock stars who are stepping out of your comfort zones, who's saying goodbye to average and ordinary, who's like, no, this is what my heart wants, this is what my soul is leading me to, this is exactly where I'm at. If that is you, and you're like, yeah, that's I'm doing this, and I'm not gonna give a rat's rear end about what my mom, my brother, my sister, my high school best friend, my spouse, my children, my therapist, my doctors, my attorney, any of this, because my soul is saying do this, and there's something inside of me that it is such a pull that I have to, like, I cannot not do this. So if you have something that you cannot not do, then you have to get really, really right with the fact that you're an eagle. And if you pay attention to eagles, do eagles flock together with a bunch of blackbirds? Do you ever see an eagle flying in the sky in the middle of a bunch of blackbirds? I know somebody's going to probably find a picture now, because if you Google it, you'll probably find it, right? But I'm talking about the norm here, so please don't post it, although it would be funny. If you find a picture of an eagle flying in the middle of a flock of blackbirds, please do share it. But it's not normal. It's not normal. Eagles fly above the storms. Eagles have fantastic vision. They can see what is going on in the energies that are coming up off of our planet, okay? They can see their prey at a humongous distance, okay? They really, really, they have great vision. They're up there by themselves. They nest in a tree by themselves. Sometimes you find 2 or 3 eagles in a big enough tree. They have their territory, their terrain. They are masters of their terrain. They are boss bitches, okay? That's what an eagle is. It is the freaking boss of their air terrain. And that's what they do. But they're not flocking. They're not sitting on the power lanes, shitting on all the cars and squeaking and squawking and getting shot by us because we're like, oh, what a nuisance, what a pest. Right? They're not flocking together. They're not dropping dead from a bunch of disease all of a sudden. Random, a whole bunch of eagles drop dead on the ground. No. You hear that about blackbirds, right? Because what? They're caught into their little huddles, their little groups. So you have to ask yourself, for the life that you want, are you wanting to be there in this? Is that feeling of community so important to you that you're willing to sacrifice your eagle status for it? Or are you really ready to step the fuck up and become that eagle that you are? Because if you are a small business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, a mompreneur, if you got a side hustle and you're treating it like it's a side hustle, you're like, well, I'll just give it the time of day every now and then. Well, then that's like what? Is that like your booty call over there? Like, oh, I think I'm going to say, oh, I'm a small business owner. I'm going to give it a little booty call right now. That's not being a fucking eagle in your business. That's not being an eagle in your life. That is just giving stuff like a little bit of time. Oh, here. If you don't have the time, if you don't have the desire, if you don't have the pull for something, and that means it's pulling you, if you're pushing at it, then it's probably not for you. It's probably not for you. So, where are you at where you're like, no, I want to be an eagle, but you're still thinking like a blackbird? And you're cheating on your eagle status with that thing called comfort, and you're cheating on your eagle status with all of those other blackbirds, and you're like, oh yeah, 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 and you're sitting down there and you got like a costume on, you got the eagle costume on, but you're sitting down there with all the blackbirds, and you're just going, yeah, I'm an eagle, but you're not, but you want to be. Well, you've got to actually get in there and change that, because what you're fearing the height that you can take yourself to. You're fearing the strength of your own wings. You're fearing your own messaging. You're fearing all of the stuff that is right there in your heart and in your soul. And you're going, no, instead I'm going to go do that because that person told me something that feels good. That person's kissing my ass a little bit over there and not really pushing me. That person over there, yeah, I'm going to go do that because that's comfortable. And that over there, that's not so comfortable. But I know there's a pull. There's a pull over there. But it scares me. My greatness scares me. Oh? Greatness scares you? Greatness scares all of us. It's just a matter of if you're going to grow a pair and actually embrace your greatness and set yourself free and become unstoppable, because you are. Okay, I saw a whole bunch of people on here. My goodness, good morning to everybody. I knew I would start like blah, 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 get diarrhea of the mouth on my message and then not be able to say hello to everybody. So I ended at Sean here. All right, morning Rebecca, morning Nick, Lucy, Candace, Tom, Erica, Brian, Daniel, Marcus, Mary, Toby. Wow. What'd you say, Addison? Bye, Felicia. You didn't need them. You're a goddess. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I've had so many people, cancel themselves. And I'm like, I've been that way in my life. Hey, morning, Michael. And Jennifer. Whole bunch of people there. Eagle Boss Bitch. Oh, wow, that's a great one. You know what? I think I'm going to create a course called the Eagle Boss Bitch. Could do something like that. So yeah, check yourself. Where are you having an affair on yourself? Where are you, and that really truly is, because you know what we do in affairs? It is an affair on ourselves. It's us not embracing our truth. That doesn't mean that where you're at, it really comes down to, in relationship, because everything is about relationship. It might mean that what you're in is just no longer for you, that it's just not your tribe, and that's why you're having an affair, because you know that this isn't your tribe, so you're going out and you're having this affair over here, whatever that might look like in whatever subject area of your life that you're putting in that affair energy. And it might mean that you're just scared of the shit that you got going on, and your ego's got you, and it's just gripping you and telling you, no, be scared. Be scared of actually saying your truth. Be scared of stepping up to the plate. Be scared of spreading your wings. This could happen, that could happen, and got you into, looking at your reasons and your excuses, and oh wow, comfort feels so good. It does. It feels so good. But you know what? If we all always leaned into our comfort, none of us would get out of bed, right? We just would lay in bed. I got a comfortable bed. I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning if I was so focused on comfort. So, where are you denying that thing that you cannot not do? Where are you denying that thing that you cannot not do? And how are you having an affair on it? Where are you really letting fear of having it hold you back? And why are you getting so fucking caught up on all those people that are making your life easier by saying goodbye to you? Because that's what they're doing. They're making it themselves known in that moment, when they show those signs, when they really let you know, I'm not in your tribe. I'm not in alignment to you. We're not matching. So don't get upset about it. Say thank you. Thank you. Share some gratitude to them, because that's what's going on there. Okay, guys. I have a whole lot of announcements. Unstoppable started yesterday. Unstoppable Power. It's my time to fly. It's my ladies course. It's 12 weeks. If you have been thinking about working with me, if you've been looking for a sign to work with me, here's your sign. Here's your sign. Work with me on that, because guess what? You're getting 6 one-on-one private appointments with that, coaching appointments, and we're going to be tackling everything. Like, we're really getting in there. We're doing the foundational work. We're doing the lifestyle design work. We're focusing in on money, on relationship, on connection, blowing out all of this stuff that makes us just not have what we want, makes us put on that little, blackbird status when we're an eagle, makes it where we are really preventing our own joy, our own bliss. So that did start yesterday. I have baby duty. My grandson is being delivered to me here in just a second. So, water going in. She's giving me funny faces, like, sorry mom, I didn't mean to interrupt your live stream. So yeah, so that starting is 12 weeks Wednesday, and tomorrow we are starting training number 1, where we are talking about letting go of all the good girl programs, which is shame and guilt, and not having proper boundaries, and really not having that voice, and accessing it a little bit more. So we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff. I do encourage you, if you are a woman, if you are following me, if you have thought about working with me, if you want to work with me at a discounted price, well, now is the opportunity to do that. Click on the link in the comment section and get your beautiful bum into this 12-week course, where I am going to really be hardcore, giving you so much stuff that can change your world. And it'll change your business, it'll change your love life, it's going to change your health, it's going to change your self-esteem, it's going to make you completely unstoppable in every area of your life. So go out there and be the dynamic boss babe that you are by accessing unstoppable power now. It's my time to fly. Click on the link. If you have any questions on it, of course, message me here, private message, whatever it takes. I want to get you signed up. It is limited spots. We have just a couple left. Because I'm doing the one-on-ones in there, I can only allow so many people into the group. So it is a very small group focus, intimate tribe focus, where we're going to get in there and we're going to really go deep on some stuff. All right, guys. Other than that, I'll catch you tomorrow. As always, you can follow me at www.kendallwilliams.com. And as always, stop existing, start living. I'll see you tomorrow on another Conscious Coffee. Be unstoppable.